Hello there, please subscribe and get the channel to 1K subscribers.
The bells are ringing. Every church in the kingdom, all at once. Your father is dead. You're 19 years old, and as of this morning, you are the king. They don't give you time to grieve. Your uncle takes you by the arm and leads you to the great hall, where 40 nobles are already waiting. They've been waiting for years. Some of them loved your father. Some of them hated him. All of them are calculating what his death means for their own ambitions. You sit on the throne for the first time. The stone is cold. The crown is heavier than you expected. A bishop anoints your forehead with oil and declares you God's chosen ruler. The nobles kneel. One by one they swear fealty. I pledge my sword, my lands, and my life to your service, your grace. You nod. You accept their oaths. You have no idea if any of them mean it. The first week is a blur of documents and decisions. Your chancellor, a man named Godfrey who served your father for 20 years, explains how the kingdom actually works. The treasury holds 12,000 silver marks. That sounds like a lot until he explains the expenses. The standing garrison costs 3,000 marks a year. The royal household costs 2,000. The church tithes take another 1,500. Road maintenance, bridge repairs, judicial salaries. By the time he's done, you have maybe 2,000 marks of discretionary funds. That's enough to hire 400 mercenaries for 3 months, or host a single lavish tournament, or bribe one moderately important duke. Welcome to kingship, Godfrey says. You're the richest man in the realm, and you can barely afford to fix the roof. You learn that being king is mostly about managing people who want to kill you. Your cousin Edmund believes he should have inherited the throne. His claim is weak, but he has allies. The Duke of Westmarch owes him money. The Earl of Northbrook is married to his sister. Together they control about a third of the kingdom's fighting men. You can't arrest Edmund without proof of treason. You can't ignore him without looking weak. So you do what kings do. You buy time. You offer Edmund a position on your council. You give his friends minor honors and empty titles. You smile at men you'd rather hang. This is politics. This is survival. Your mother pulls you aside after dinner one evening. She's been queen for 25 years. She knows things. You need to marry, she says, soon, before the nobles start making matches without you. A king without an heir is a kingdom without a future. She hands you a list of names, princesses and duchesses from every corner of Christendom. Some are beautiful, some are wealthy, some come with military alliances that could save your life. None of them care about you. They care about your crown. You pick the daughter of the King of Aragon. She brings 8,000 marks in dowry and a promise that her father will send troops if you're ever invaded. You've never met her. You won't meet her until your wedding day. The wedding is in autumn. Isabella arrives with a retinue of 200 Aragonese nobles, servants, and guards. She's pretty. Dark hair, sharp eyes. She speaks 3 languages but barely looks at you during the ceremony. That night, in your chambers, she's polite but distant. This is duty, she says, for both of us. You understand. You're not husband and wife. You're 2 kingdoms making an alliance with your bodies. You do what's expected. 9 months later, you have a son. The bells ring again, but this time in celebration. Your son changes everything. Now you have something to protect. Now you have something to lose. The nobles notice. Edmund notices. A king with an infant heir is vulnerable. If something happens to you in the next few years, your son inherits. But a baby can't rule. There would have to be a regent. Edmund starts visiting the nursery. He brings gifts for the prince. He's positioning himself. You double the guards. You hire a food taster. You start sleeping with a dagger under your pillow. The first assassination attempt comes in your 3rd year. A servant you've never noticed before tries to put something in your wine. Your taster catches it. The servant is tortured. He names Edmund, but there's no proof. It's his word against a duke's. You can't execute a duke on the word of a servant. The nobles would revolt. So Edmund lives. He smiles at you across the great hall. You smile back. You both know what's coming. It's just a matter of time. You decide to act first, not with violence, with money. You start buying Edmund's allies. The Earl of Northbrook's son needs a position at court. You give him one. The Duke of Westmarch's debts are threatening to ruin him. You quietly purchase his obligations. Now he owes you, not Edmund. One by one, you peel away his support. It takes 2 years and costs you 6,000 marks you don't have. You borrow from Lombard bankers at ruinous interest. But by the end, Edmund is isolated. His allies have become yours. He leaves court without permission and retreats to his castle. You've won. For now. Then the Northmen come. 300 longships appear on your eastern coast in the spring of your 7th year. They burn 4 towns before your messengers even reach you. By the time you've gathered your army, they've moved inland. 8,000 raiders against your 5,000 men. Your generals want to wait for reinforcements from your father-in-law. That could take months. The Northmen will have pillaged half your kingdom by then. You decide to fight. It's the worst decision of your life. The battle lasts 6 hours. Your cavalry breaks their shield wall on the 3rd charge, but the cost is catastrophic. 2,000 of your men are dead. Your best general is among them. You take an arrow in the shoulder that nearly kills you. The Northmen retreat to their ships with their plunder. You've won, technically, but you've lost a third of your army and gained nothing but corpses. The nobles are furious. They blame you for attacking too soon. They blame you for not attacking sooner. They blame you for existing. Edmund returns to court. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have to. Everyone can see you limping. Everyone can see the kingdom bleeding. It takes 3 years to rebuild. 3 years of higher taxes and angry peasants. 3 years of borrowing and scraping and selling crown lands you'll never get back. Your son is 7 now. He's learning to ride, to fight, to read Latin. He's learning what it means to be a prince. You watch him and wonder if he'll be better at this than you are. You hope so. You fear he won't have the chance. The plague arrives in your 12th year as king. It comes from the east, carried by merchant ships. The first cases appear in the port cities. Within a month, it's everywhere. People die so fast there's no time to bury them. The bodies pile up in the streets. The church says it's God's punishment. The peasants say it's the Jews. Neither is true. But truth doesn't matter when people are afraid. A third of your kingdom dies in 8 months. A third. Entire villages are empty. Fields go unharvested. The economy collapses. There's no one to collect taxes because there's no one to pay them. You survive. Your wife survives. Your son survives. That's more luck than you deserve. But the kingdom you inherit from the plague is not the kingdom you had before. The peasants who remain know their labor is valuable now. They demand higher wages. They demand freedom from their lords. Some lords refuse and face revolts. Some lords accept and face bankruptcy. You're supposed to maintain order, but there's no order left to maintain. You issue proclamations that no one follows. You send soldiers to enforce laws that no one obeys. The old world is dying. You can feel it crumbling beneath your throne. Your son is 16 when you realize you're getting old. Your shoulder never healed right from that arrow. Your knees ache in the cold. You're 35 years old and you feel like 60. You start preparing him for what's coming. You teach him which nobles can be trusted, which is none of them. You teach him which advisors are competent, which is few of them. You teach him that being king is not about power. It's about managing weakness. Your weakness. Everyone else's weakness. The weakness of a system held together by tradition and violence and the collective agreement to pretend it all makes sense. Edmund dies of a fever in your 18th year as king. You attend his funeral. You say kind words. You feel nothing. His son is 12 years old and has no interest in rebellion. The threat that haunted you for 2 decades is simply gone. You should feel relieved. Instead, you feel empty. You've spent so long fighting to survive that you never thought about what comes after. Your wife finds you on the battlements one evening. You're staring at the fields beyond the castle walls. Peasants are bringing in the harvest. Life goes on. It always does. You've been king for 22 years, she says. Longer than your father. Longer than his father. You've done well. You don't feel like you've done well. You feel like you've been treading water in a storm, and the only reason you haven't drowned is luck. She takes your hand. It's the most intimate gesture she's made in years. I know, she says. I feel it too. We're not people anymore. We're positions. We're symbols. We're whatever the kingdom needs us to be. You die at 41. It's not dramatic. There's no assassin, no battle, no plague. Your heart simply stops one morning while you're reading reports. Your son finds you slumped over your desk. He's 22 years old. The same age you were when you inherited a kingdom you didn't understand. The bells ring again. Every church, all at once. A new king sits on the throne. The stone is still cold. The crown is still heavy. The nobles kneel and swear oaths they may or may not mean. And somewhere, a chancellor is explaining how the treasury works. The cycle begins again.